And now, here is Coretta MacDonald, Member of Parliament and host of Advancing the Cause.
Hello, good evening to you all, lovely people. Good evening. Welcome to Advancing the Cause. And no, I am not Coretta MacDonald. I am Natasha Singh-Lewis, Member of Parliament, and I am hosting Advancing the Cause on behalf of Ms. MacDonald this evening. I am no stranger to all of you, so welcome. I hope to engage you for another hour. Operator, can I see my comments? Let me see who is there and let me give them a shout out this evening. And I see my regular, William Kosher, good evening to you. Kim Blair, Evangelist Augusta. I am seeing some regular people. So good evening to you. Tell me where you are viewing us from this evening. I am viewing this program from. Good evening to you, Magnell. Good evening, Anna Gordon. Good evening to you. Happy to see you here. Delon Alexander, good evening to you. You folks are doing this evening. Tell me where you're viewing us from this evening. And Edward Gonzalez says he's viewing us from the Bronx. Good evening to you, Edward. Amabel Clement, good evening to you. Good evening. Folks, it is wonderful to be with you this evening on Advancing the Cause. I can't tell you how happy I am to be here. We have a lot of stuff to discuss this evening. The flyer earlier this evening, we are going to talk about education. There are too many things that are happening in that sector, and I'm not sure that we were able to pull them together to bring the issues. You know, on Advancing the Cause, we bring issues that are of national importance. We bring it to the table, we discuss it. This evening, we have about 4 or 5 issues to discuss. They're very important. They affect all of us, but we would not be able to go in depth in the discussion, so we will just touch on them, but we will come back. You know, September month is Education Month, and I have dedicated the entire September month to discussing issues in education, and we want to give recommendations. We don't always want to tell you what's happening. We must tell you what's happening, but we want to ensure that as a government in waiting, the APNU AFC, we want to share our recommendations for the development of the education sector and all of the sectors. So folks, my guest is going to be here with me shortly. I want to take a short break, and I have some things to do that you also have to do. So Harriet Hall, good evening to you. Delon Alexander says he's viewing us from the US, and Tommy says, Salam, Walaikum Salam, Tommy Gibbs. I would like you to do what I am going to take a break to do. That is to share the live stream. Now you want to ensure that persons, Patricia McFarlane, good afternoon. You want other persons in your household to view the program, share the live stream. I'm going to take a minute and I'll be right back with you. We will start some discussions just now. So let's go to a short break. You can please share the live stream, and I'll be back with you in a minute.
And now, here is Coretta MacDonald, Member of Parliament and host of Advancing the Cause.
comments. Welcome back, and thank you for being here with us this evening. Um, folks, I really want to ensure that I carry the momentum of advancing the cause as Miss McDonald would have carried it. Right, Evelyn Richards? Good evening to you. I am happy that you have joined us this evening. So, folks, let me say to you, Janice Archibald is a teacher. Yes, Janice. Janice is a teacher from the New Amsterdam Technical Institute, and she's watching us from Kanji. And I see Joycelyn Rodriguez is watching us from BIM. Wonderful, Barbados. Brooklyn, New York. Winston is here from Brooklyn, New York. Thank you guys for watching us. We got a widespread here this evening. We're going to talk about education, but I said I want to ensure the momentum of advancing the cause remains the same. And so I know my comrade McDonald would take some time out to wish all of you a happy birthday. Those who are celebrating birthdays, a few days ago from last Wednesday to now. Happy birthday to all of you. And I am in that category. There was no building bridges last Monday because I would have celebrated my birthday. So I want to say a big shout out to all of you. Thank you for sending those greetings. I got videos, I got WhatsApp calls. They were overwhelming. And I have to tell you that it's one of the first birthdays that I spent without my other half, my special person in my life. And so I decided that I was going to spend it quietly at home, reflecting on life. It was a different birthday, but I really did enjoy it. And all of the birthday wishes, I had a few friends who called and sang for me. I am not that kind of singer. But yes, I did enjoy those. And folks, it was wonderful being at home, just relaxing with my children, enjoying a day peaceful. It was awesome. And you guys played a part in ensuring that I had a peaceful day. And I say thank you. I see Cassie Razak is on, and I see Karen Black, and I see Derek Smith. Derek, it's really good to have you here this evening. Folks, we have a few things that we need to talk about this evening. Very serious. What's happening at the Ministry of Education is I believe it needs some attention. I believe that you folks need to know what's happening. And what we do on any one of our shows, across the waves, building bridges, advancing the cause, in the ring, all of those shows, we ensure that we bring facts to you. And so you have credible information. And I have a guest this evening who's going to bring facts and credible information to you. But let me say to you folks, what is happening is of grave concern. And we have to take note of what is happening. And to have this afternoon's conversation, I want to welcome my guest, Honorable suspended Member of Parliament, Annette Ferguson, who's going to join me now. Um, Good evening to you and welcome.
Good evening to you, Sister Natasha. Are you hearing me?
I am hearing you loud and clear. So, folks, tell me in the comment section, are you seeing us? Are you hearing us? Tell us so that we know. Annette, this is our first month. I have to say to our viewers that we
Yes.
that we will not be receiving a salary, not a dollar, as parliamentarians, as suspended. I share the platform as a suspended member of parliament. How are you managing, my sister?
Well, Natasha, first of all, thank you very much for having me on your program, though you're fitting in for our sister Coretta McDonald. I want to take this opportunity to say a pleasant evening to all your listeners and viewers here on social media platform. Well, to answer your question, the just shall live by faith. And as a Christian, I know of God making provisions. So once one door is closed, there are many more doors that will open. So for me, I am trusting God, and He's going to see me through these trying times. But
Yes.
despite us not receiving whether stipend or a salary this month, come September month, October month, way into November, perhaps into December, we as parliamentarians, we have to continue doing our work. And I have been on the ground doing my work. So whether pay or no pay, the work must go on and the show must go on. And we will continue to expose the PPPC for all the wrongs. So suspending Ferguson wouldn't shut me up. It has more or less empowered me. It has caused me to become braver than before, because at the end of the day, I am representing the people. So, Natasha, money is not all of it, because as a Christian, as I said, if God provided for the birds in the sea and the birds in the air, sorry, and the fishes in the sea, what about me? And you, I know He's
Yes.
going to make a way. So we just got to remain focused, and He's going to do what He promises that He will do.
Absolutely, absolutely, Annette. I had this. My sister Sanchara from Barbados reached out to me. There are some other supporters who reached out to say, Natasha, you have children who are going to school, and how is this affecting you? And we know that your husband passed recently,
Yeah.
and just after that you're suspended. This must be difficult, and it is difficult. But let me say, the faith I have in God is not
Amen.
going to move me. It is going
Amen.
to strengthen me. My
Amen.
my my strength doesn't come from the PPP, and I'm happy you said that this suspension has given you more. It encourages you to go out. And I want to say to our viewers that we have taken our responsibility very serious.
Yeah.
We are happy that you have placed a trust in us to elect us to serve you. And that is what we will do, regardless of what the PPP does, to what end they go. We will stand firm to our commitment to representing the people who voted for us. And so, Ms. Ferguson, I want to go right into one of the issues. I I I have been following your discussion on a particular matter on social media for the last couple of days. And it's compounding a lot of issue, particularly in Georgetown. I had to deal with parents who came to reach out to me as the shadow for education, reached out to me. These are parents from the school that was burnt the other day, St. George's.
Yeah.
And the Ministry of Education is playing cat and mouse, because they were supposed to place these students in schools come September. In a week or so, school will reopen. And some of those issues are not sorted as yet. I have neighbors in Waterloo Street who had lots of issues to be placed. People don't want to send their children 2, 3 bus
Distance.
routes
Yes.
when there's a secondary school just close to them. We know the policy is placing the child closer to home. That's the policy. But somebody is playing around with what is happening, and some parents are not happy about the placement for that particular situation as a result of the fire. We can't control the fire. No, since the PVP come back, is non-stop fire all the time. But compounding that, the placement of those students at St. George's, we know that there is a placement exam written in July, I believe. Correct me if I don't have the facts there.
Yeah.
And so the results would have been out. These are students who would have written the exams, both private and public schools, in grade 8 to be placed at higher, based on their performance, placed in higher grade schools or better performing schools, if you want to say that. And I
Yes.
know that there are some hiccups, and I know that you've ventilated this issue on social media on your page. But I want us to talk to our viewers across all of our platforms today. Let us understand the issue with the
Placement exam.
placement. I read your post today, and I agree with all of the questions that you would have asked there. I am so sad that because we are suspended members of parliament, we can't ask those questions in the National Assembly for Manik Chan to answer. But somehow or the other, when we reconvene in October, we should ask those questions. We should not let them go by. Annette, I want you to share some of those questions with our viewers today. Or you can
Uh,
probably give a background to the matter.
Good. Thank you very much, my colleague, Natasha Singh-Lewis. Look, the placement examination is an examination that is written by students who are attending, let us say, lower grade schools. So, for instance, if I have a child who is attending St. John's College and he or she would have done well in the first term in Form 1, 75% and above in the three terms of the school year, then I can have my child sit the exams, probably the July, August of the very year, for him or her to attend a higher school.
Yeah.
Natasha, the exams were not written in um, 2020 nor 2021 due to COVID. So the last set of exams written were in 2019 when the APNUFC was in government. But let's now fast track to 2022. And this particular matter is troubling to me because as a parent, as an aunt, um, you don't play with your children
No.
education. They must be given that opportunity to go through their school life to become better man and woman in the future. So this is what happened. In Georgetown, we had in across the regions, I think region 2, region 3, region 4, Georgetown, region 4 proper, region 6 and 10, right? You have students who sat these exams to be awarded, the higher, probably one of the higher, the five top tier schools
The
in the
senior
country.
secondary, yes.
Exactly. If it's QC, if it's Bishops, Saints, Roses, or Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
So let us use Georgetown, for example.
Yeah.
You had in excess of 100 plus children who sat these exams from varying schools, whether North Georgetown Secondary, St. John's College, Richard Ishmael, North Rumfeld, perhaps they even had children from St. George's Cathedral, the school, St. George's High School, the school that was recently burnt, right? So these children sat the exam on the 28th of July 2022. Results were expected to be out, I think, sometime mid of this month. So I received several phone calls last week from parents complaining that they visited the exams division there in Thomas Lance, QC compound, to get a sense as to, the percentage the child would have gotten so that they can go to 68 breakdown. Now, in 68 breakdown would say to them, well, look, your child got 76% and he has been awarded St. Joseph High School. But even before I continue, I want to make it lucidly that under the coalition government, you had the percentage range in this category. I think you had 74%, Joseph 79%, Roses 84%, Saints 89%, Bishops, and once you had between 90 to 100%, it would have awarded you a place at QC. Lo and behold, my information is all the students, whether from Region 4 Georgetown, Region 4 proper, Region 2, Region 3, Region 10, and Region 6, all the students who sat these exams, they did extremely well. Parents called, as I said before, and they said, man, these exams were above my child's expectation. They've visited, they've called the exams division, and they're being told that the child has to remain at the school they were initially at. So as I started off by using St. John's College as an example. So my child sat the exam, got a percentage of 84%, which would have awarded him a place at St. Stanislaus College. Lo and behold, remember 2019 percentage rate was 84% this child would have had to get in order to award him that spot at Saints, right? So because of the high performance of the children, the number of children who sat this exam for 2022, they're forced to remain in the school. So my child will have to remain at St. John's College. But when I went...
Even though your child has the ability to perform.
Exactly. So when I went to the exam division there, QC compound, they're not giving me the grades. They're not giving me the percentage. You understand me? Because this is how it works.
That is bullyism, Annette. That is bullyism.
Well, you see, I wouldn't say it is bullyism. I guess it's because of the information that was filtered to them. They were informed.
They
because
were
of the or instructed, for want of a better word, because
from
of
the
the
big
shifting,
bully.
Yeah, because of the shifting in the percentage. You understand me? Right?
Yes.
Because of the shifting in or the change in the percentage rate, right? Parents are now being told. Parents are not giving any information at this point in time. Parents cannot even, they're unaware as to the percentage the child got. They're unaware of the marks they would have attained, and also they are unaware of the school the child will be placed at. Because what should be happening? If my child wants to write the exam, I will have to collect a form, probably from the Ministry of Education, or in the regions, they will go to the Department of Education. Fill out the form. The child now will have to probably come to Georgetown, write the exams. When the exams are finished, when they're finished taking the exams now will have to be marked by NSERD.
Yes.
But this was not done for 2022, Natasha, viewers and listeners. This was not done for 2022. You have the ACEO who had overall responsibility for supervising the exam. That's one, though it is not his responsibility. And also, he is the person who identified markers to mark these papers.
So this ACEO is now at the exams division, is taking up the duties of the superintendent of exams?
Yes, there's a lot of skullduggery playing out. So the information that I have been previewed to is that children who are in private schools and want to be placed now in government schools, because with the high cost of living now, parents can't afford to sustain their child or their children in a private school. So majority of the children, whether they went to Mays, whether they went to Morgan's Learning Center, they too sat that exam, but they're the only ones, majority of them, they have been placed. Not where some have been placed at, let's say, St. Rose's, I think Bishops, I saw QC, and you got the other listing of secondary schools, like you got the A schools, the B schools, the C schools, and the
Yeah.
D schools.
The grades, yes.
Good, right? And what I also recognized is that persons who have migrated or returned to Guyana, remigrants coming back home, they too were given the opportunity to sit the exams, right? And they have been awarded a spot in in the public school. So many parents, Natasha, are dissatisfied. Many parents are upset what has happened to the placement examinations for 2022, right? And I want to share with your listeners and your viewers. Just before coming on this program, I got a text came in, and this is what it said. I'm not going to call names. I am located in Berbice. My name is X. I saw your post about the placement exams, and I'm really hurt too, because my daughter, this is a mother reaching out to me, my daughter wrote it, and I wasn't given any proper information, just on the paper that she has to remain. So on the paper that this parent probably received is that the child has to remain at the school, right? Remain where she is at no score nothing, right? That's what the parent is saying, right? But parents here, that's in Berbice, are not like Georgetown. They sit back and take anything. I really would appreciate to know or hear something like what are the cut-off marks or the names of the school in Berbice. This is just one out of the many texts I have received. Just yesterday morning, a parent called me. Said, "Man, Minister, my child attended X school here in Georgetown. Sat the examination, complimented that this exam was quite easy. The child knows of, their ability.
Yeah.
But the ministry is saying that the child has to remain at the school here in Georgetown." Now, Natasha, yes, I took my I wouldn't say frustration, but my concerns, I put it out there, because the nation, the people of Guyana got to hear, got to
Yes.
know, must know what is happening in our education system. You cannot play politics
With
with
education.
education. You
Mm-mm.
cannot. You're playing with the future and the lives of our children. So Priya and I yesterday, she tried rather to discredit the information that I was putting out there. But I just be very, very cautious. I just do my research to ensure that whatever fact check, to ensure that
Yeah.
whatever I put out there, right, can stand scrutiny.
Yes.
Now, she responded to me yesterday saying that probably whoever feeding me with information, giving me the wrong information. Now, today, when I put out additional information with all the questions that I put out there, Priya hasn't responded to not
At
one
all.
question. So, what
At
is that
all.
saying to me? My information is 120% accurate. And I challenge Priya anytime, right? I challenge Priya anytime that what the questions that I asked her, that I put out there,
Anna,
that I am wrong.
Do you have those questions with you right there? Can you at least give us one or two of those questions?
Yes, let me just find
Because
them quickly.
I read those questions, I did my investigation, and I support them. And I believe that at this point in time, the Minister of Education owes this nation an explanation. She need to answer those questions.
Yes, and okay, these are the questions that I put to the Honorable Madam. And this is what I said, Madam Priya, perhaps you will be able to publicly explain the following. One, the position of ACO, name available, and who is aligned to the PPPC exams exams, that is, because I think he has responsibility for exams, right? Was created by you when the PPPC administration took office in August of 2020. Is the person holding the ACEO exams competent enough to manage the unit? That's one. Two, why NSERD, the authorized body, was left out from the process? Three, previous placement examinations, both students and parents were made aware of marks obtained, percentage awarded, and schools assigned. What has occasioned the sudden change in 2022? Fourth, August 12th, 2022, the examinations division was visited by you should know who, and a meeting was held with ACEO exams. Can the public be informed what have constituted the presence of you know who and what was the discussion about? Fifthly, on completion of the placement examinations, the papers were to be dispatched to insert for marking under the supervision of the test development officer. Can you publicly inform parents and students why the deviation from this practice?
Yes.
Sixth, the exam papers were sent to the ACEO exams, name known, who selected markers to have the papers marked. Madam Priya, can you explain to the general public, the parents, and those students who sat the examinations why this was done and the correct procedure was not followed? Seventh, Madam Priya, can you share with the public the current ACEO exams qualifications, the markers, and state whether these persons have the knowledge and competence when it comes to managing examinations? Eighth, Madam Priya, kindly state for the general public, parents, and affected students what procurement method was used to engage the markers, since NSERD, the authorized body, was completely omitted from the process. Ninth, Madam Priya, kindly share with the public the current structure of the examinations division. Tenth, Madam Priya, can you explain to the general public, parents, and affected students what role the head of the examinations division played during the preparations and sitting of the placement examinations of 2022? 11th, Madam Priya, kindly explain to the general public, parents, and affected students why the percentage structure pre-August 2022 was not used when the examination papers were marked. I have taken liberty in providing to the general public the marking structure used during the coalition government. Please see attached. 12th, now that this egregious and wrongful act is engaging the public's attention, Madam Priya, you may need to inform the general public, parents, and affected students what mechanism the Ministry of Education will put in place to address this troubling situation. So these
Yes.
were the and I ended by saying, Madam Priya, in your responses to my questions above, may I say to you not to be or get political. Also, let me caution you, as I stated in my first paragraph, I do not play when it comes to education. And by virtue of this, politics should and must never play a part in our education system. So this is what
Absolutely.
I
And
put before
I
the
think
honorable
you
member.
were very clear, and I really like um, the way you've structured your question. In all of that, there is need. You have called repeatedly for the Minister of Education to come out to the public and say what is the system, why the deviation to the structure in place. It is almost a week or perhaps a week and a few days before school
Mm-hmm,
reopens. And
mm-hmm,
Janice from Region 6 is saying the anxiety that this whole process is creating in the students and the parents. They need to know what they did at the exam. These are children that we're talking about. Can you imagine their mental state, the
Exactly.
anxiety created in waiting for a result that looks like they will never get?
Exactly.
You
But you
know,
know,
but the
yeah, but
Minister of Education must come out and answer these questions.
exactly. But Natasha, if you may, because in my early attempt to make clear the structure
Yes,
that was there um,
before.
before August 2022. Let me just share this with you. 90 to 100. If a child would have gotten 90% to 100, he or she would have been awarded or be
Mm,
given a placement at QC. 85 to 89% and a placement at the Bishop's High School. 80
mhm,
to 84% since St. Stanislaus College. 75 to 79% roses.
mhm,
70 to 74 would have awarded that child a placement at the St. Joseph High School. And then you have between 60 to 69 is list A. As I
mhm.
said earlier, you got schools
Christchurch and
listed
so on. Yes,
exactly. Then got 50 to 59 list B schools. So
yeah,
40 to 49% list C schools, and below 40% would have given a child a place at a list D school. Now, Natasha, why has the honorable member took upon herself to shift these percentage? That is one. Two, I recall the honorable member saying yesterday in her post to me that, oh, space constraint. But I hit back at her.
yeah.
Therefore, you had
No
poor planning
planning.
and
No
poor
planning.
forecasting,
Two
because what
years.
exactly
Two years in government. No
what should have
planning.
happened, what should have happened, Natasha? You
Yeah.
look at the trend from previous years to see the number of you know students who would have requested to write
Yeah.
this examination. What you would have done now is to consult with the schools, find out from QC, man, how much space you got for the varying
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah.
Bishops, saints,
And it,
so you
and it
get a
we
gauge.
understand we understand that Priya doing your own thing at education. And while we might outline a structure and a system of how things should happen, we know from prior to 2015, Priya was at education and Priya don't engage. She decides and she goes on. We know that. We've seen that in the past. And I have to remind our viewers, or I have to tell them, that Priya is the one who stands up in the National Assembly to accuse the APNU of incompetence, of corruption, of gangsterism. And we
Mm-hmm.
are seeing all of that in the Ministry of Education. I want to play a video for you, well, an audio for you on it. And I would like to have your comments on it. And I keep
Okay.
saying the bullyism and the gangsterism taking place at the Ministry of Education has to stop. This one relates to our teachers, our head teachers and teachers. And from the audio, I am beginning to think that it's a Georgetown issue because I heard the PU being mentioned. But take a listen to the audio and hear bullyism and gangsterism at its best.
Good afternoon, head teachers in this group and master trainers. Apparently, we have not made this thing clear enough to you concerning the training that we have for the new curriculum of our first year learners. Maybe we have not made ourselves clear. This is not optional. This is not a case where your teachers have an option to whether they want to be a part of the training or not. This is a part of their job. And hence, please encourage your teachers to be there. Do not be making any excuses for your teachers. If they have a problem and it is that grave and they cannot, just give them the guidelines. Let them write to the chief education officer through the head teacher, through the DO, through the PO, saying what are the reasons for them not being able to attend. And head teachers, you need to be at this training as well. And I will not be taking any excuses from any head teacher, either about themselves or about their teachers. This is serious business that we're going to be venturing into. So if some of you want to have your jobs or your teachers still want to continue in this profession, please, I don't need any excuses because I will not be making any excuses on their behalf.
Well, Annette, I know that you have a management background. I know you have a HR background. But listen to me, that entire message was okay until she threatened
Yes,
those
yes,
teachers. I
yes.
understand that education is serious business.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
understand that teachers need training continuously so that they can stay abreast with what's
mm-hmm.
happening. Let me give you some context. There's this new curriculum. I forget the word that they use. The combined curriculum, I think it is, that they're now
Okay.
rolling out. They didn't
Mhm.
consult with people. They just drop it into school in 2021. The teachers
Oh.
didn't know how to deliver, and so it was a complete failure. Now they are
Mhm.
piloting this combined curriculum. We've had a lot of learning losses and so on, and that's the background to the new strategy that they have. And I have no problem with that. I don't
Mhm.
have no problem with training the teachers and so on. But from the time you can threaten the teacher about their jobs, I have a problem with you.
Yes,
And
yes,
there's a female voice I am hearing there. I am yet to find out who that person is, but it has to be somebody at the level of ACO or DCO to make those kinds of statements.
yes.
You don't threaten people and get the best out of them. And when I tell you the bullyism and the gangsterism is coming from the top, so the
Yes.
officials now, the officers think that
Are
they have,
emboldened. Mhm,
yes,
mhm,
they can do
mhm.
this to teachers. But I say to the teachers, don't bully the children. Let the bullyism stop with you. Stand up to this level of bullyism. I have no respect for that person.
You
I've
know,
managed staff before, and I know even in a home setting, you don't threaten people and get full cooperation.
no, I think what should have happened here, and you see, this is where perhaps the whole lack of planning, right? Forecasting in the
Yes.
ministry. You'll know perhaps that you're fully aware that the school term will end with from X date to
Yes.
Y date. What should have happened is that teachers, through their heads, should have been given prior notification, perhaps months or weeks before school closed,
Yeah.
because you know that many of us, whether teachers or non-teachers, whenever we get a vacation, we try
Yeah.
to travel out.
Yeah.
So it would now allow people to plan. So if I gotta be out of the country, it gotta be between X time to Y time to be back to attend the training.
Yeah.
Because yes, training is critical in any organization because it aid in development, it aid in capacity building, and it makes your trainers much more effective so that education learning within the school system can become effective. So I think the message through the voice note, perhaps the female should have, she could have done it a little better, in a
She
much
was
more
going good
polished
all the
style all the
time
time. Yes,
until
yes,
she threatened these people about their
yes.
jobs.
We cannot,
I
we
mean, you
cannot.
are not Lord unto yourself. You
No,
are
we
not their
cannot.
employer.
No,
I
we
mean,
cannot.
what if the union decide to take a position to represent the teachers and
Mhm,
kill the training?
mhm,
You know,
mhm. And that we don't want,
we
because at the
don't
end of the
want
day,
that. They,
at the
they
end
will
of
be
the day,
doing more damage to themselves. And
selves
I see
exactly.
Miss Grant from Region 5 is saying to us it's the consolidated curriculum that they're doing
Yeah.
the training. And I guess it's the training is done per region. I really embrace that training. I understand the benefits of training. I myself, I spent a number of years in education and I understand the system. But it is people who move the system. It is
Exactly.
people who make it happen. And you can't be disrespectful to teachers. They have families, they have children.
And
And
you
you
see,
and your non-planning or whatever you do, your ad hocery in planning cannot disturb people's lives.
no, no, it could have been
Teaching
done
is their
better.
livelihood, but they do it as a love.
Exactly,
You
exactly.
understand? And you have to
Mm-hmm,
encourage that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Penalizing them is not going to work, but
No, and you see, this is how the PPP manages.
yes,
You
yes,
understand me? As you rightfully put, the bullyism,
yes,
this big stick method, it
yes.
cannot work, right? And because of how they manage things, they drive fear into
The
people.
people.
But the good book in Second Timothy 1:7 reminds me that God didn't give us a spirit of fear,
Yeah.
one of love and of a sound mind. And people must be able to speak out. Don't be afraid of who is the minister education, who's the president of this country. When a wrong is being meted out, you must be able to stand up and speak out.
And that's the message I want our teachers to understand today. Do not let people bully you. Understand your rights and understand your responsibility. You understand?
Mhm.
Um, Ms. Ferguson, before we go on to the next issue, I want to say that a lot has been happening in the comment section, and I see my sister Rowena Cummings from the East Bank there is managing what is happening in the comment section. I see
Okay.
sure, my sister from Corriverton, Charlotte Richardson, is
Mhm.
viewing from Corriverton there, and Yetunde Grant from Region 5 is viewing there and sharing some comments. So, Rowena, I know you have full control of the comment section there. Good
Mhm.
night to
Mhm.
you, GT boy.
Mhm.
Christopher Harry Paul, um, I don't know. Why would you think that you alone are entitled to God? Aren't we all God's children? Don't we have a right to worship and to have a God in our lives? Pauline Schulz from the municipality in New Amsterdam. Pauline Schulz, listen to me. We did well with the social cohesion training, but we really missed the Jagabats. We have to make a greater effort to catch them and teach them cohesion in this country.
Mhm.
Um, Pauline, it's boots on the ground. The next issue deals with boots on the ground. We know that we have been calling for a clean voters list.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I believe the leader there is something queued up for us to look at. Mr.
Mhm.
Operator, there is a document queued up for us to look at as we speak about um, supporting the call for a clean voters list and biometrics for voting. The leader of the opposition made some comments on what has been happening, and he made some calls. One of them is for a clean voters list. The other one, we are not going to encourage Claudette Singh because we know what happened. We know that the GCOM commissioners would have made through a motion tabled at GCOM, they would have called for the use of biometrics. And we have a lot of kickback, I would say, coming from the PPP. The same set of people, when the AP and UAFC was in government, the same set of people who called for a clean voters list are saying that we don't need the clean voters list at this point in time. So what they're actually doing, Ms. Ferguson,
Mhm.
is they don't want the biometric system, which will cancel out all the dead people who voted.
Mhm.
You understand? That's what the biometric system is
Yeah.
for, because it authenticates your fingerprint and so on.
The
And,
identity.
and I don't know where they're going to find all those dead people to authenticate their fingerprints and so on.
Yes.
Anna, tell us what's going on.
Look, I support the call for a clean voters list. And I want to remind Guyanese, because sometimes we tend to forgive. You know, Jack Dio thinks he can outsmart everybody. But we know who he can outsmart because they have some. Anyway, I wouldn't go there. But let me let me focus on the call for a clean voters list.
Yeah.
And I want, as I said, this is what Jack Dio had to say in October of 2015, to be precise, October 6th of 2015. PPP wants fresh voters list
Yeah.
among other electoral reforms. And this is what Jack Dio called for. The PPP called for the following reforms, listeners and viewers. Natasha, enhanced biometrics, the very thing the APNU,
The comment.
AFC is
Yes.
calling for, the very thing the People's National Congress reform is calling for. Two, the PPP called for electronic voting. Thirdly, bringing the GCOM Secretariat under the purview of the Commission to enable the Commission to give the Secretariat General orders and directions. Fourth, recruitment of GCOM's key election officials, such as returning officers and presiding officers and poll clerks, to improve transparent and impartial processes. Fifth, a new voters list.
Yes.
Listen to this, viewers. Listen to this, listeners. A new voters list to be compiled on the basis of a fresh house enumeration. You would recall, leading up to the 2020 elections, the coalition started the house to
Registration.
house registration in 2019.
Yes.
And the do said the run here, the run until they went to court
Yeah.
to get a decision to cease the process. Look, Natasha, the voters list is heavily bloated. Dead
Yes.
people names are on that list. People who have migrated. All right, if the law say, well, look, you can't take off people who names, who have migrated. You can't take their names off. I think, you know, we must be able to find common grounds how we can deal with that particular issue. But
Yeah.
when it comes to dead people, they're not
No.
alive. Expunge their names from the list. So that was the fifth call. The sixth call, review the process that allows for voting by the discipline services. Seventh, amend the relevant sections of the Representation of the People's Act to allow for the enactment of appropriate legislation to facilitate implementation of agreed reforms. And eighthly, selection of a new chairman of GCOM. But
Yes.
what is most critical in the call of 2015, right, mirrors the very call that the opposition is requesting: biometrics, a clean voters list.
Yeah.
So during the recount, I was a part of the recount process. I sat there 33 days. I tired like anything, looking to
Yeah.
see what is coming out from those boxes, just to hear names of dead people. Vote ballots were cast. State for. We got the information. This is not
Yes.
that by guessing or gesture. We have the information of who died and whose names. Those dead people, names that were ticked on the voters list.
Yeah.
We got it from the relevant personnel. We have the information of persons who were not in this country. But you know what? Their names were ticked. A ballot was cast for
Yeah.
them. So tell me, what is the problem, Jack Dio? What is your problem? We need a clean voters list. And I'm calling on you, Jagdeo, to meet with the leader of the opposition.
Yeah.
Find a way, though we have the law which disallows us from extracting persons' names who are not living in Guyana. Find commonalities, find common grounds to treat with that particular issue separately. But we must be able to get the names of dead people off the list. Because with dead people names on the list, you still got ID cards of them circulating around the place, because there's no system. I don't think there's a law which requires for the recall of
Of
those
the ID card.
ID cards. That's
Mhm.
one. Two
Yeah.
is that, Natasha, with this, I don't trust this whole system with voters turning up without ID card and having to swear
Yeah.
to swear to I think it's the oath. You
Yeah.
understand me? Because
Mhm.
a lot of people looking like one. A lot of people looking like one. When people see
Indeed.
when people see my siblings, my two sisters,
Yes.
people that take them for me
Yes.
because we look alike. You understand me? So I could turn up with
Yeah.
my sister pretending to be my sister. My sister could turn up pretending to be me. Who's there to verify that
Yeah.
she's not
Yeah.
what she says she is? So
And so
we have to look at these things very carefully. And I think
the
it
call
is a
has to
just
be
cause.
for a clean
Yeah,
voters list,
yeah,
and
it
we
is a
cannot
just
wait.
cause.
We
It is a
have
just
to,
cause.
and Jack, they will have to deal with the consequences. But Annette, I see your girlfriend, your fancy hair girlfriend, Gail Teixeira, in today's news said that they're going to seek international assistance
Hmm.
to deal with the matter of the leader of the opposition making some statements against the GCOM chair. Now, GCOM is an independent body. The chairman of GCOM didn't say that she needs assistance, she needs protection, but Gail took upon herself. She is Jack, their right hand. She's do all the things that I can't mention here, but
Hmm.
she took upon herself to come out in the media today. They're going to seek international assistance. We need international assistance to solve the crimes in this country.
Not only
That's what we
international,
need.
not only international assistance to solve crime. We need international assistance to solve the Sugate scandal.
Exactly.
We needed international support to solve what Bascom revealed to us several weeks ago. That is what we need international support for. So, not for frivolous things. If the leader of the opposition publicly state that, well, look, the chair
But,
would
but,
have
but
to face whatever. Has he
we don't we
threatened
don't
her?
want we don't want to go another elections with the current chairman of GCOM. He
No,
said
no,
publicly. Jagdale
no.
said that in 2015. but but
Exactly.
but suddenly now it is not acceptable. When the shoe
Hmm.
is on the other foot, it is not
Hmm.
acceptable. But
But
Miss
you have to.
Ferguson,
I know time is upon us, but you
yes,
would
I didn't
recall.
I didn't I didn't even realize that. But I
Yeah.
have one other issue. You see, we've got so much to talk about. But we have to do our duties. We have to bring the public aware of what is happening. That's one of
Mhm.
our responsibilities as parliamentarians. And when we come on social media to do the live programs, we capture a wide cross section of our constituents across the country and across the world. I can tell you that tonight we have Barbados, we have Canada, we have the US, all parts of the US. I sort them out early in the program. They are here, and we have a responsibility to update our constituents on what's happening in this country. And we bring facts, we bring credible information. Ms. Ferguson, I want to put up, I saw something on Starbuck News today. Starbuck News
Mhm.
today said, operator, I think there is something there from Starbuck News. We need to get, I can bring it to mind. There is $160 million
Mhm.
$160 million. Starbuck News is quoting the chairman of Region
Region
6,
6. Once it being
Mr.
paid
David Armogan, is saying that some
160 million being paid to
4,000,
4,000
some
part-time.
4,000 part-time. It's temporary jobs. 4,000 temporary jobs. They're paying $160 million per month, per month in Region 6. Now, he is saying to us in general terms, I know David. David is a very decent man, and he should not go down this line, but he's a politician. Let me see. Tell me, David said to the media, I think he was addressing the expo in Berbice. David is saying to us that all these 4,000 people, they serve at NDC levels. They serve in the hospital. They serve in the health centers. No, Annette, a couple of things jump out at my mind there. The 4,000 is an alarming number, all right, for Region 6. Region 6 being a very big region. The population is huge, but 4,000 is a big number. If you check from when they announced the temporary jobs and to now, they are admitting that that amount of persons are unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what they are doing temporarily in the health centers, what they are doing temporarily in the hospitals. I understand they might employ laborers and so on in the NDC, but tell me, what are they doing? Is
Well,
the health system that underserved?
well, I guess I can help you with a few responses because my ears are always to the ground and I
Absolutely.
always out and about. But let me tell you this. I agree with you when you said, with this 4,000, very much alarming. You know,
Yes.
um, Natasha, perhaps I'm gonna be frank. I'm
Yes.
a realist. I do not, and I can bet my last dollar that this information here is inaccurate. Number one,
Yes.
there's a number of things we have to observe here. These temporary jobs were never catered for in the budget
Right.
of 2022. So how is it that these people are being paid? Under which
Mm.
line item? Right? That's
Yeah.
one. Two, many of the people, whether they're at health centers, they're at NDCs, they're at schools, even the post office Wisma, and post office Mackenzie in Region 2 got a few temporary staff. They're
Region
doing
10.
up Region 10, sorry, they're doing absolutely nothing. They're doing nothing. I know of persons in Region 2 who are at schools. You hear what I'm telling you? They're not doing anything. Miss Ferguson, me I report to my work. I may set up every day. Me I sign contract. Me I get a list of duties. Me I know what me got to do. But you know what? Me present every day. Just before coming on this program, I got a call. I received a call that some persons were paid in region $240,000 a month. Persons in Akiwini, in the Pomeroon, the sign, according to the information I got, they signed a contract for $40,000. And only a couple of weeks ago, they received 33,000.
Wow.
33,000 these people receive. But you understand me? So I'm still that is what has been reported to me. So it's a lot of things playing out with the so-called temporary jobs. All these projects you're hearing about hospitals billing, you're hearing about hotels billing, you hear about roads coming under construction and all manner of things. You know what this government should have done? It's to devise a strategy. Try to train these people. So when these projects starts to roll out, You're able to put people in their respective areas of competencies. But you
Yes.
know what? This whole politicizing of everything cannot work because you're messing with the psyche of our people. So for me, this 160 million being paid per month to 4,000 part-time workers in region number 6 doesn't
We
smell
got to
good.
ask some questions. We got
We
to
have
ask
to
some
ask
questions.
questions,
They have to
right?
tell us more about that because I
Because
really want to know who are the. Listen, I agree that this part-time thing, the people should go take the job.
Mhm,
It's a form of employment. You have to take
mhm,
care of your family. We
mhm.
we are at our lowest in terms of poverty in this country, and you know
Mhm.
it's a man on the ground that's
Yep.
always suffer. You
Mhm,
understand?
mhm.
Take the jobs, but the administration, the installed PPP administration, will have to account for the money. Where the money there? You really think 4,000 people were employed in Region 4, in Region
N-
6?
But you see, the difficulty I'm having, the difficulty that I'm having with this government, they have caused Guyana to be like a cash grant economy, sort of,
Yeah, yeah.
right? That's how they've caused our economy to be described.
But that is
Look,
one way to withdraw money from the funds and not accounting for it.
exactly. Look, Natasha, we had the 7.5 billion paid towards
Yes.
the COVID cash grant. We're yet to get a list of
Yeah.
the persons, the beneficiaries across the regions who would have benefited. We had money paid to pay out to sugar workers. We're yet to see a list of those who benefited. You had money paid to fisher folks,
Farmers.
farmers. We're yet to see the list. Natasha, is this how you manage the people of this country finances?
Yep.
I don't think those sitting in the seat of government manage their own personal monies in that way.
Mhm.
And it's unfair because with this kind of approach, it opens the door for corruption.
Yes,
And if you're to
absolutely.
ask me if corruption is there,
Yes.
yes, there is.
Miss Richards said money for the boys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Money for the boys. Miss Ferguson, I want to say thank you for being with me for the past hour. We have passed. I noticed the operator is taking, a
Mhm.
throwback approach. So I believe we got another 5 minutes.
Yes.
One thing that what that is very important for me, Annette, our young people in this country, they are very disadvantaged. One of
Mhm.
the things I often say is that any program that we have, we should always seek to leave a positive note
Yes.
for those who would spend an hour with us. And I want to use that few minutes for you to say something to our young people, give them hope despite all that is there. Give them hope. To our women who are abused and the police doesn't take action, to our young people who are still trying to fit into society, tell them something this evening. Give them hope.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Natasha. My young Guyanese brothers and sisters, this is what I would want to leave with you this evening. Opportunities out there are great, but you have a duty to go after those opportunities. I know many of you may be lost as to where can I go to be piloted in the right direction. That is why you have us
Yeah.
as MPs, as your representatives. You have the councillors in your districts. We have party groups across the regions in communities. You have party stalwarts in your villages that you can reach out to, and they will be able to recommend whether Natasha, Annette, whomever to you so that we can guide you.
Yeah.
If you're a school dropout, opportunities are there. You have the night classes that you can attend. We can see that you get enrolled so
Yeah.
that you can have a second go at your education so that you can move up to the next tier. So for me, hope is there. But you have to purpose in yourself that this is what I want. Lining on the street corners wouldn't help solve your problems.
That's true.
Smoking a joint or a weed wouldn't help to solve your problems. Snatching purses and robbing a brother or sister wouldn't help solve your problems. It would cause you more harm than good. So I am saying to you, my young brothers and sisters, reach out to us. We are here to guide you path along life's pathway. So once you reach out to us, we will help you. To the abused women out there, to the abused young mother, young girl, you too have an opportunity to speak out. I know the system, many of the organizations, they have been at a disadvantage to you. We have read of many stories where abused women would have, visited the
Yeah.
police station and was
Mm-hmm.
never given assistance. Like my young people, you have an opportunity to reach out to us, to share with us what is happening, what is affecting you,
Yeah.
and we are here to guide you
Yeah.
in the right path. So all that you have to do is just to step out of the box, seek help, and we are here to help you because we will be able to use our influence, whether the churches get the qualified counselors,
Yeah.
whomever they are, to assist you. The system is there, the structures are there, but you
Yes.
have to purpose in your heart that you need help, and we are here to provide you that support.
Thank you so very much, folks. That is my comrade, um,
But
MP
Natasha, if
Annette
you may,
Ferguson. Go right ahead,
the,
Annette.
quickly,
Yes.
just as I started, I want to end. I am calling on Priya Manikchan, the Minister of Education, to fix the placement situation right. If the children performed well,
Place
let
them.
them be advised.
Yes.
Do not, you don't know what you're doing to the minds of those young people when they know for a fact that they have performed exceptionally well. Priya,
Yes.
do them no harm. I'm pleading with you as the people's representative to fix the system of the placement examination right. Natasha, once again, thank you for having me on your program, and I will continue to advocate and I will continue to highlight the wrongs that are being done by the People's Progressive Party Civic. Once again, thank you, and may God richly bless you. May God bless your listeners and viewers.
Thank you so very much, Annette. Folks, it was awesome having MP Annette Ferguson with us this evening. Before we go, I want to say thank you to all of you for being here with us on Advancing the Cause. I hope I would have done justice to Coretta McDonald in her program. I want to say thank you to Pamela Sanchari. Pamela is viewing us from Barbados. She's an awesome, awesome supporter. Um, Carlton Murray, you guys keep coming on. Lachmi Aziz, my sister from Bushlat. And I want to give a trophy to Gwyneth Anderson this evening. Gwyneth was in the comment section just taking on everybody this afternoon and fixing their jacket on properly. Faye Joseph, um, there are people who will come and we have a class for them. They're jagabats and all the other things that Sherrod calls them, and they have a place. We accept them. We have a big banner. Sometimes you allow them so that they can learn something, because all of our programs, They are so designed that you learn something in an hour. It's awesome being with you guys. I have a word of caution for you. We have, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, we have been notified by the Ministry of Health that monkeypox is with us here in Guyana. I am not sure that they have gone into a proper sensitization um, program to educate our people on what's happening. But of course, everybody is going on as if nothing, just like COVID, is going to go away. It doesn't matter who will die and all of that. Folks, good people, you have a responsibility to take care of you. You have a responsibility to take care of your family. And let us all do that as family. From us here, parliamentarians, from us here at the PNC, we want to say we love you, we need you, you need us. So you have a responsibility to take care of yourself and your family. Stay safe. And I know next Wednesday you will see Honorable Coretta MacDonald on Advancing the Cause again. And join me on Monday at 6:30 p.m. for Building Bridges. Once again, thank you for being with me and my comrade Annette Ferguson, who did an awesome job calling on Priya and getting the message out. I hope Priya stands up to that call. She is the queen at bullying. She is the queen at gangsterism. And I can't tell you the other things, but I hope
Yes.
she takes Annette's call seriously. Our constituents need, the people need answers. You are there installed as it is, but you have a responsibility to the people. Folks, thank you very much, and I'll see you again next Monday. Have a good
Bye-bye.
evening. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching our program. See you right back here, same place, same time. And remember, hold the line of battle, comrades. Our victory is sure.